Thanksgiving by Ethan Long. It was the fourth Thursday in November, and the monsters gathered for their annual Thanksgiving feast. Everyone chipped in. Virginia whipped up the sweet potato casserole. Sandy mixed the stuffing. Mumford made the cranberry sauce. Of course, Vladimir prepared the turkey. He knew how to cook it just right. Then, out of nowhere, he heard a pop, 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 pop. Uncle Augusta, Aunt Bessie, Joey, and Schmoey. What a pleasant surprise! Vladimir loved seeing his family, even when they dropped in unexpectedly. It was a happy reunion. Vladimir invited them inside. Everyone, this is my family. Family, this is, everyone. Oh my, what is that interesting smell? Mashed potatoes with garlic. Aunt Bessie whipped up another batch. This time with eyeballs and earwax. Uncle Gus inspected the turkey. Of course, he had his own method. Now that's how you cook a turkey. Joey and Schmoey helped Fran make the pumpkin pie, but it turned into a lumpkin pie. They just love maggot meatballs. And then there was Spike, who never met anything he didn't want to swallow. Anything. Vladimir loved his family, but they were quickly making a monstrosity of the Thanksgiving feast. Baboon burps. Yum! Snail spit makes everything taste good. It needs one more good zip! And they didn't stop there. The bean casserole had 10 sticks of boogie butter in it. The mashed potatoes had a strange look to them, and the biscuits were as hard as headstones. And the turkey? Let's just say that Uncle Gus cooked it to death. But because they were family, Vladimir was determined to make the best of it. Okay, everyone, gather around. It's morning already. Could somebody shut that window? The sun is burning my eyes. The room went black. Bad idea. Yeah, can't say anything. What's that crunching sound? Somebody turn on the light. Maybe the food will taste better if we can't see it. And when the light went on, Thanksgiving was gone. Doggone. Spike had devoured everything. For Vladimir, this was the last straw. You ruined Thanksgiving! What do you mean we ruined Thanksgiving? We were only trying to help. Vladdy, you can't be mad at us. We're family. Aunt Bessie was right. They were family. And if Vladimir remembered correctly, family worked together. So he demanded a do-over. They cooked all day. They used whatever they could find. They made potato peel pudding. They cooked a bread crust casserole. They baked turkey bone biscuits. They even made a batch of flea bean dip with just a touch of garlic. And that evening, with some corn dogs they found in the freezer, out came the perfect turkey. Now that's how you cook a turkey. It looks amazing. Great work, everyone. Are corn dogs made of real dogs? So, on the fourth Friday in November, everyone gave thanks. Even Spike was grateful, in his own way. And of course, the food was to die for. More, please. The end. Bad Kitty Does Not Like Thanksgiving by Nick Brewer. Kitty does not like Thanksgiving. Kitty loves Thanksgiving. Kitty loves Thanksgiving for one reason. Turkey! Kitty does not like green beans. Kitty does not like mashed potatoes. Kitty does not like cranberry sauce. But Kitty loves turkey. And today is Thanksgiving. Kitty likes to call this day yummy yummy. All of the turkey is mine and goes in my belly day. Meow, meow. Kitty, leave the turkey alone. You have to share on Thanksgiving. Kitty does not want to share. She wants the turkey all for herself. Kitty decides to take the turkey. Kitty has a plan. Meow! No, Kitty! There go the green beans. Ugh. Kitty, leave the turkey alone. Kitty has another plan. No, Kitty! There go the mashed potatoes. Kitty, leave the turkey alone. Kitty has another plan. No, Kitty! There goes cranberry sauce. Kitty, leave the turkey alone. You ruined the green beans. You ruined the mashed potatoes. You ruined the cranberry sauce. Bad, Kitty. Now you can't have any turkey right now. Kitty is angry. Very, very angry. Look out, Kitty. Look out. Meow. Ka-thump. Turkey on cat. Poor Kitty. Kitty does not like turkey anymore. Kitty does not like Thanksgiving. The end.
Turkey Trouble by Wendy Silvano. Illustrated by Lee Harper. Turkey was in trouble. Bad trouble. The kind of trouble where it's almost Thanksgiving and you're the main course. But Turkey had an idea. What if he didn't look like a turkey? What if he looked like a horse? Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a horse for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a horse. Almost. Moo, said Cow. Stop horsing around, Turkey. How'd you know it was me? Moaned Turkey. Too short, said Cow. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Cow gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a cow for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a cow. Almost. Snorted Pig. Holy cow! Is that you, Turkey? How'd you know it was me? Groaned Turkey. Too skinny, said Pig. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Pig gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a pig for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a pig. Almost. Bah! Bah! Bleated Sheep. Quit being a ham, Turkey. How'd you know it was me? Wailed Turkey. Too clean, said Sheep. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Sheep gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake would eat a sheep for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a sheep. Almost.
Cock-a-doodle-doo,
crowed Rooster. Bad idea, Turkey.
how'd you know it was me? Howled Turkey.
Too brown, squawked Rooster. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Rooster gave Turkey a new idea. In fact, it was his best idea yet. He already looked a lot like Rooster. This costume would be easy. Surely Farmer Jake would eat a rooster for Thanksgiving. Or would he? Rooster might be his next choice. Turkey worried, since roosters and turkeys looked so much alike. Oh, gobble, gobble. Farmer Jake came into the barn. Turkey, 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 come out, wherever you are. Where's the turkey? Asked Farmer Jake's wife. I don't know, he said. I looked everywhere. Oh dear, what will we do without a turkey for Thanksgiving? Well, we could always eat a rooster, I guess. Oh no, not rooster, thought Turkey. He looked around desperately for one more idea. Then he found it. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, it was Turkey's best yet. Ding dong! Happy Thanksgiving! Gobbler's Pizza. That's one way to tell that it's a turkey delivery man. Did you order a pizza? Asked Farmer Jake's wife. No, he said, but it was a good idea. So they all sat down and gobbled up the pizza. And it was Turkey's best Thanksgiving ever. The end. There was an old lady who swallowed a turkey, by Lucille Carlandro, illustrated by Jared Lee. There was an old lady who swallowed a turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a ball. She stood very tall as she swallowed that ball. She swallowed the ball to throw at the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a hat. Imagine that! She swallowed the hat! She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw at the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a balloon. She felt as big as the moon when she swallowed the balloon. She swallowed the balloon to pump the hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball.
She swallowed the ball to throw at the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a boat. It slid down her throat when she swallowed that boat. She swallowed the boat to anchor the balloon. She swallowed the balloon to bump the hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw at the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed some wheels. She kicked up her heels when she swallowed those wheels. She swallowed the wheels to drive the boat. She swallowed the boat to anchor the balloon. She swallowed the balloon to bump the hat. She swallowed the hat to cover the ball. She swallowed the ball to throw at the turkey. I don't know why she swallowed the turkey, but she's always been quirky. There was an old lady who swallowed a horn of plenty. She could have swallowed 20 horns of plenty. Just then, the old lady heard the band, so she marched her way onto the grandstand. As the parade got underway, she wished everyone a Happy Thanksgiving Day! The Great Turkey Race by Steve Metzger, illustrated by Jim Palliott. It was a chilly day in November. During a game of hide and seek, Ollie the turkey heard Farmer Kate calling to Farmer Joe. "Who's going to be Thanksgiving turkey this year?" Farmer Kate asked. "I don't know," Farmer Joe replied, "but this turkey has to be very special." Ollie's eyes opened wide. "I'd better decide soon," Farmer Joe continued. "Thanksgiving is almost here." Cassie and Wing crashed into Ollie. "We found you!" they shouted. "You won't believe what I just heard," said Ollie. "Farmer Joe is going to pick one of us to be the Thanksgiving turkey. He said you have to be special. "Then it should be me," Wing said. "I'm the coolest turkey." "No, I should be picked," Cassie said. "I have the most colorful feathers." "I've got it," Ollie said. "Let's have a field day with different sporting events. The winner of each event gets a medal. Then we can show Farmer Joe who to pick," Cassie added. "The one who wins the most medals." They quickly decided on the events. There would be running, throwing, dancing, an obstacle course, and high jumping. Later that afternoon, the goats and horses began hanging banners and flags from tree to tree. The ducks took care of the drinks, while the chickens knitted souvenir sweaters. The next morning, Rooster crowed, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Let the games begin!" Cassie ran toward the barn with Ollie and Wing close behind. When they got there, the other farm animals were already waiting for them. "The first event is the turkey trot," Pete the chicken announced. Ollie, Cassie, and Wing lined up. "Ready, set, go!" Pete shouted. Cassie was in the lead, but slowed down to blow kisses to her friends. Ollie and Wing raced past her. As they got closer to the finish line, Wing pulled Ollie's sweatband down over his eyes. "I can't see," Ollie said. Wing had won the race. As Pete handed him the first medal, Wing shouted, "I am the greatest!" "No fair," Ollie whispered to Cassie as the pigs played. Turkey in the straw.
Cassie won the bucket throwing event. Then Ollie won the dancing competition doing his wild turkey mambo. With 2 events to go, Ollie, Cassie, and Wing had 1 medal each. I'm going to win those next 2 medals, Wing said. Then I'll be the Thanksgiving turkey. We'll just see about that, Mr. Cheater, Cassie said. A trumpet blew. The obstacle course race will begin in 15 minutes, Pete called out. Wing and Ollie hurried over to the duck pond. But Cassie decided to rest for a moment. Farmer Joe and Farmer Kate strolled by. The animals sure are busy today, Farmer Kate said, especially those silly turkeys. Well, Farmer Joe said, one of them will be mighty tasty at next week's Thanksgiving dinner. Mighty tasty? Cassie shouted as she jumped up. So that's what happens to the Thanksgiving turkey. I better warn Ollie, but not that cheater Wing. He makes me so mad. She raced over to the duck pond. Don't win any more medals, Cassie said to Ollie. Why not? The Thanksgiving turkey is going to be cooked. Oh no, that's terrible, Ollie said. But what about the last 2 field day events? If Wing wants to win so much, Cassie replied, we'll just let him. Time for the obstacle course, Pete said. Follow the path from the pig pen to Farmer Joe's tractor. The winner is the first one to reach the top. Let's get started, Wing said. I can't wait to win. Ready, set, go! Pete called out. The 3 turkeys went through the pig pen, over the haystacks, across the clothesline, and onto Farmer Joe's tractor. Hooray for me! Wing shouted. Only 1 more medal to go. Cassie and Ollie looked at each other. They felt bad about Wing. Please come down from the tractor, Wing, Cassie said. We have something to tell you. Yes, Wing replied. You think I'm wonderful? Cassie told Wing what really happens to the Thanksgiving turkey. What? Are you sure? I don't want to be Thanksgiving dinner. Here, take my medals. Calm down, Wing, Ollie said. Let's think for a minute. After a few moments, Cassie shouted, I've got it! She whispered her idea to Ollie and Wing. Time for the high jump! Our last event! Pete called out. The turkey that jumps over the highest object wins. Starting with a milk bucket. Ollie, Cassie, and Wing quickly moved on to jumping over a rocking chair, a bale of hay, and a cornstalk. I guess it's a 3-way tie, Pete said. There's nothing left to jump over. I see one more thing, Cassie said as she pointed to the fence surrounding the farm. Ready, set, go! Pete called out. Ollie, Wing, and Cassie raced for the fence. They jumped at exactly the same time and just barely made it over the top. Come back and get your medals, Pete called out. But the 3 turkeys kept right on running and running and running. And as for Thanksgiving dinner, Farmer Joe and Farmer Kate ate the most delicious vegetables too.
The end. Pete the Cat. The First Thanksgiving by Kimberly and James Dean. A Lift the Flap book. Pete was nervous about being a pilgrim in his class's Thanksgiving play. The first Thanksgiving. Just do your best, his best friend Callie said. Pete said he would try. He was ready. His mom had even made him a pilgrim hat, which was really cool. Happy Thanksgiving, Turkey. Pete took his place at the front of the giant ship that his class had made out of cardboard. Pete was a pilgrim on the Mayflower. In 1620, a group of pilgrims decided to leave England for the New World to build a new life. It was a long, long trip on a big, big ship. All the pilgrims sang. The sea was rough and very dangerous. Many pilgrims got very, very sick. The dream of a new start in the new world made the hard trip all worth it. For more than 2 months, the pilgrims sailed. They wondered if they would ever get there. After 65 days on the ship, the new world finally came into view. Land ho! Pete cried. All the pilgrims did a happy dance. The pilgrims arrived in the new world at Plymouth Rock, in what is now Massachusetts. Everyone had many chores to do, like growing food, finding water, and building shelters. The first winter in the new world was long and hard. In the spring, the pilgrims had to decide whether to give up and go back to England or keep trying. The pilgrims had heard about the Native Americans, and many worried that they would not be friendly. Pete had never met a cat he didn't like, so he thought they would be kind. Pete was right. He made a new friend in Squanto. Squanto and the other Native Americans showed the pilgrims how to grow crops like corn, beans, and squash. By summer, the pilgrims had learned how to farm the new land. By fall harvest, the pilgrims had plenty of food. To thank Squanto and the other Native Americans, the pilgrims invited them to share the harvest. The celebration became known as the First Thanksgiving. Pete was relieved when the play was over. He had remembered all his lines. Wow, I never thought about how hard it was back then, said Pete. You did great, Callie said. Later at Thanksgiving dinner with his family, Pete said, "Let's all go around the table and say something we are thankful for." I'm thankful for my family, said Pete's mom. I'm thankful for my skateboard, said Bob. I am thankful for the brave pilgrims that started this new free world, said Pete. What are you thankful for? Well, I am thankful for my bicycle, my family, and also this beautiful world. What are you thankful for, kids? The end. How to Catch a Turkey from the New York Times bestselling team, Adam Walsh and Andy Alcatron. Here we are on Thanksgiving Day. It's that special time of year. Yes, I know I am a turkey. That much should be clear. So gather round, I have a tale, and it's really quite a story. What I tell you now is not a joke. It's my crowning glory. It all began 1 year ago. I was at a school, you see. Play preparations were underway, but that didn't matter to me. Some kids walked in by city clothes, talking about the play. We'll even have a turkey on stage. It's perfect for Thanksgiving Day. Turkey? Stage? No way, no how! Had I really heard that right? I broke out of my pen and ran away with a case of bad stage fright. I burst into the science room, knocked over flasks and beakers, and the cry of "Catch that turkey!" boomed over the loudspeakers. So now more children joined the chase with catapults and food. But their goopy mashed potatoes weren't enough to keep me glued. Up next, there was a maze of books that stretched from wall to wall. But with a big hop and a mighty flap, I managed to escape it all. I ducked past chairs and bags and desks. Now that was quite the trick. The kids thought they could stop me here, but I was much too quick. I ran outside to the jungle gym, thinking I could hide, but the recess yard was all tricked out. I'd have better luck inside. Finally, the kids gave up, but the principal gave chase. My only hope of escaping her was keeping up my pace. I slid into the coach's room and crashed into a chair. I got tangled up in jerseys, but I won't get stuck in there. I ran into a curtain. There was nowhere else to go. I couldn't get past the principal, but the curtain led to the show. My heart was racing. I started to sweat. I couldn't squawk or run. I took a deep breath. I can do this. Who knows, this might be fun. A kid stood up and pointed. Oh my gosh, he's so cute! He really is. I started to smile and even dance while the crowd continued to cheer. I was filled with joy that I took the chance, and that's what started my mascot career. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone! The end. Kids, if you liked the video, can you please subscribe, like, and share for more? Bye! Happy Thanksgiving! Thanks from The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Thanks for showing me to be kind to every creature, to care for the trees and sky and oceans, and to be curious, gentle, and brave. Thanks for reminding me to wonder about everything and to dream of a peaceful world. Thanks for encouraging me to be a good friend. To sing my own song. And to always reach for the stars. But most of all, thanks for being you! The end. Kids, if you liked the video, please subscribe, like, and share for more. Bye!